Good morning, good morning, good morning. Lovely day. It's already 15 degrees. Shorts and t-shirt. Whenever possible, we are in shorts and t-shirt. We're just driving along the coast. After we left Chinchilla, we obviously headed to Sachs, which I think I said. We met up. We've been with Simon for the weekend. And we've now moved on. I didn't film anything in Sachs because, whenever I meet up with people, I just like to enjoy my time with them, not thinking about picking up the camera. But Sachs as a town surprised me. Much bigger than I thought it was going to be. Much bigger. Obviously all the facilities. It's got a big commercial area just down the road, a big Carrefour supermarket and a shopping mall. Huge industrial estate. So, if you ever need services or professional people. And then Simon's apartment right in the heart of the town, on the main square, top floor, looking right down the main street. So I mean, wonderful location and a big apartment. Yes, it needs some work. Yes, it needs some modernising, which obviously Simon has we spoke through what some of his plans were, and I reckon give it, I don't know, 6 months, a year. Simon, you tell me in the comments. I'm sure the apartment will look totally different and obviously be a lot more homely because it's pretty basic at the moment, but it's just moved in literally like a week ago, so to be expected, but it's got the bare essentials literally. So anyway, we moved on yesterday from Sachs and we went down, we're on the coast now, just below Alicante. We went to, can you believe it, there's actually spots of rain. Beautiful blue sky, but there's spots of rain on the windscreen, and I only have one camera, so I can't pick you up, turn you around and show it to you because I'm driving. I'm not not like the big channels that have got lots of cameras for different angles at once, so trust me, I think it stopped, but there was some spots of rain, unless it was off of a car's windscreen, but it definitely definitely looks like rain spots, not spray from a car windscreen washer. Anyway, we left Sachs and we went to Torrevieja. I actually got to come off the motorway in a minute, so I might have to pop you down. We went to Torrevieja. No, we didn't stay. We had a walk around for about 2.5 hours, each to their own. I wasn't impressed. It is what it is. I guess for those that like it, it's perfect. But it's heavily built up and it's just road after road after road of apartment blocks, and not very attractive apartment blocks, in my opinion. Obviously, you've got the promenade, the seafront. It was okay, but again, not maybe as big and as grand as I was expecting. Not as many facilities, bars, restaurants, and then we came to the marina, and that was super disappointing in my opinion. Super large, but there was only a small portion that you could access because the rest of it is private, whereas the little public marina, yes, again, it had some bars and restaurants, but no, it just didn't get the vibe. It certainly wasn't anything like the marina where Nick was living in La Rochelle. That was a whole different world. But hold on, let me just get off the motorway and I'll come back to you. Okay, so we have just pulled up in the motorhome air service station just outside Los Alcazares, and we are going to have a mooch into town. We probably won't park here. We've come here so that we're going to have a shower, and then obviously it makes sense whilst we're here to empty the waters, fill the waters, be fresh, and then obviously get back on the road. But yeah, let's finish what I was saying. So Torrevieja, the marina, just wasn't impressed. And I don't know if I've said this, but part of the journey like this winter along the coast of Spain, along the costas from Alicante down to Sotogrande, that kind of area. One of the main goals is to potentially find somewhere where I would like to live. because obviously now that I've left Ibiza, we're full-time in the Moho, in the Professor, for the next whatever long, couple of years we're thinking, but who knows, we don't know where this is going to go. But then eventually, obviously I have my Spanish residencia, so I want to stay in Spain. I want to live in Spain, but I want to live on the mainland, because living on Ibiza was great, but it just got too small. I need more. So yeah, so part of this is to look at places, towns, cities, villages. Now, yes, Torrevieja was on my list, but not because I wanted to live in the town itself or the city, I'm not too sure which it is, but certainly to see what facilities and amenities it offered, and then potentially to be based around it. That definitely isn't going to happen. Torrevieja did not tick any boxes for me. You know, like, I guess it's like when I've bought houses in the past, you get that initial gut feeling, and yeah, my gut feeling was that Torrevieja is not the place for me. So we didn't stay. I didn't even pick up the camera. Well, I took it with me, but I didn't put it on because I was like, just not impressed. And I've seen other people on YouTube that have been to Torrevieja, and the footage that maybe they've given is quite minimal. So I don't think you're missing anything, if I'm really honest with you. So we moved just down the road to La Zenia, which is like on the outskirts of Torrevieja. I don't know, 5 kilometers. I didn't clock it. Found a very nice park up, overlooking a little beach in a residential area. Very, very quiet, beautiful. You know, the sun was rising this morning. A lovely walkway all along the cliff, which was fantastic to take Koa for a walk. So La Zenia itself, in terms of the accommodation, the residential area, was beautiful, beautiful. But again, all the facilities that it has, unless I looked in the wrong place, were along like the main road that goes along the coast. So it's a dual carriageway, and either side of the dual carriageway, yes, you've got the commercial centres, but you've got the bars, the restaurants. Not really a very peaceful location. You certainly wouldn't be sitting on a promenade looking out at the sea, you know, for sunset, sunrise, just chilling out. You've constantly got a flow of quite heavy or very heavy traffic going past. So, you know, I did see some beach clubs, some beach restaurants, but what looked like, say I could have been in the wrong place, but what looked like the heart of La Zenia was on a dual carriageway. So again, not really what I'm thinking of or what I'm looking for. So yeah, so this morning the plan was, and this is exactly what we're doing, we've moved on, like I said, we're at the motorhome air, we're going to do what we need to do, we're going to go into Los Alcazares, excuse my pronunciation, have a little walk around there. I don't think it's going to take too long, I don't think it's very big, but all of these places, by the way, that I'm mentioning, a lot of them I have made a list of from watching A Place in the Sun, a UK TV series, which is all about buying property in various places around the world, but they do a lot in Spain, and a lot of the English people maybe don't have that much money. I'm one of them, so these are places that are hopefully going to be a little more cost effective in terms of what you can get for your money. So yeah, we're going to have a look around Los Alcazares after we've done what we've got to do here. And then we're not going to stay here in this area. We're going to move on probably to La Manga. And that's purely because I just want to see it and experience it. There's a couple of good park-ups by the looks of it on the beach, which could be ideal for Koa. We may even stay a couple of days. Again, not that that's an area I think I'm looking to potentially live. But it just looks interesting because of what it is, which is a huge, if you look on the map, a huge spit of land, a peninsula, whatever you want to call it, that kind of like goes out and around and therefore forms this big natural inland saltwater lake. So that'll be quite cool. Anyway, I will shut up. I'm going to have a shower, get the van sorted, and then we'll head into Los Alcazares. Right, we are all clean and tidy. We've moved the van, we've just parked up on the side of a residential street, heading into Los Alcazares. I did notice a market as we were coming to this parking area, so like at the back of town. So we'll have a walk through there, see what that's like. But again, I have no expectations. If it's good, we'll film it. If it's not, we probably won't, to be honest with you. But anyway, we're clean, we're tidy. It's now 18 degrees, slowly warming up. It's still early. Don't know exactly. Well, I will tell you exactly. It is now, 11:30. I actually thought it was a bit earlier than that, but it's 11:30. But shorts and t-shirt, not I'm saying that too many times to rub it in. No sun cream on the head yet though, although I probably should have, but I don't think we'll be walking around here for more than an hour and a half or so, and then we'll head off to La Manga. So let's go and have a little look. Big motorbike. Let's go and have a look at Los Alcazares. Well, that's a cool market, I have to say. Probably one of the best markets I've seen in Spain. So we're now on the main street where everyone is, hello beautiful. That wasn't to me, unfortunately, that was to Koa. Let's let this lady past. Buen dia. Yeah, good market, big. I mean, we just walked down the main drag, the main stretch, or what looked like the main stretch. But there was loads of little side roads and, you know, stalls off. I can actually see, you won't be able to see it, I'll spin you round. But you can just about see through there, La Manga in the distance, which is obviously where we're thinking of heading, or we are heading later. But we need to get down to the seafront, which obviously is only over there because we can see the sea from where we are. Or actually we can't, well it is the sea, but it's the inland salt lake, reservoir, whatever it is. But yeah, so the market was cool. You could easily spend a couple of hours mooching around there if you needed something. We don't, so it's gone a bit dark. Sunshade, sunshade. And yeah, seems to be a bit of life in the town. So let's get down to the seafront, and I believe there's a marina as well. So let's see what we can find. Let's head down this little side road here. Okay, that particular side street, this end of town, residentially isn't very interesting, but we're about to hit the promenade. Maybe, I don't know if you can see this, let's spin you around again. Does that show better in the distance? I don't know if you can make it out, all the buildings, the sky rise buildings, apartments, flats, hotels of La Manga in the distance there. Probably not coming out on camera, but look at a beautiful day. Stunning. But anyway, we are going not that way. Looks very pretty. Certainly already higher in my rankings than Torrevieja, but it's very quiet. So let's have a little wander along the promenade towards the centre of town. I mean, it's, what's today? It's Tuesday, and we said it's, I don't know, it's probably pushing midday now. So let's see what the centre of town and the rest of this promenade looks like. Right, we've just found this restaurant. It's on like a little pontoon pier going out into the sea. I'm facing into the sun, so you probably can't see me. But the point here, and this is why Ibiza has had its lot, I think. Can I just spin you around, if you can see this? In fact, let me go to the other side, maybe, if it's on the other side. Yes, it is. Look at this. Dinner from 5 until 8 every night on this lovely little pontoon, where you've got an aperitif, a starter, a first course, a second course, which you choose from, and a dessert. €8.50. I mean, I had to double check I wasn't reading that incorrectly, get my shadow out of the way. Drinks not included. Well, I bloody hope not. I mean, that's amazing. And then you spin it around and look at this. 10 until 11:30, English breakfast. We'll allow them that spelling mistake just because I can't put into words the difference it is on the mainland. Okay, in certain locations, probably Marbella, etc., it's still going to be Ibiza prices, but why do certain locations, well, because they can and because people will pay that kind of money. But when you know that the other alternatives are out there, I just refuse to do it anymore. I mean, you know, I think when I was with Simon in Sachs, we had, we went out for an Indian one night and a Chinese the next night, and both of them, give or take a couple of euros, came to €50. That's two people, and we had, I mean, with the curry, we had poppadoms, we had starters, curries, rice, naan bread, and a couple of beers each. And with the Chinese, actually we didn't have Chinese, we were going to have Chinese, but we changed our mind. We went to like a Spanish local restaurant, And again, a couple of beers, main courses. What did we have? Did we have starters? I'm sure we had starters, but again, the point being the cost. For what we had, the food, I had a steak, and it was a lovely steak with chips, French fries, and yeah, just the value for money, the service, you know, people are happy, they're friendly, they're pleased to see you, you know, whereas in Ibiza, they don't really care. You know, they make so much money in such a short period, and most people are seasonal workers, so they don't care. Whereas here it tends to be family run, you know, the sons, the daughters, everybody is invested in the business. So it just makes a big difference. I have to say it's a shame that quite a lot is still closed. We're walking past a couple of restaurants at the moment, they're not open, it's very quiet. Maybe as we get down, I can see the marina in the distance, maybe it'll get a little bit livelier, because that obviously is one of the reasons why we're looking at these locations in the winter, on the basis that if they've got life in the winter, they're going to have life in the summer. Now, I'm not saying I want a party town, but I do want something that's got a bit of, you know, a bit of vibrance to it, a bit of soul, some locals and a year-round community. So let's see. But I tell you, I'm going to spin you around again, because this, I'm going to call it a lagoon now, is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And again, I don't know if you can make it out, but directly in front of us over there somewhere is where we'll be staying tonight, on the other side of this lagoon. Mr. Koa, you right? We just stopped for a cafe con leche and a tostada, tomate, jamon and queso. Tomato, cheese and ham. So got a beautiful view out across the lagoon. I don't know why, it reminds me as if I'm looking across to, I don't know, I'm going to say Dubai. I've never been to Dubai, but just because of the buildings in the distance, and then the water is just like a sheet of glass. Absolutely amazing, but hopefully the coffee and toast won't be too long, because I'm a bit peckish, I haven't eaten yet, so hurry up, Mr. Tostada. I'm not going to bang on about it. €5.20. Nice big coffee, nice big tostada, tomato, ham and cheese. I know certain places in Ibiza where it would have been a fiver just for the coffee. So yeah, again, great value, but enough said, enough said. It's very quiet. We're walking back through town now. Oh, it's gone dark again, hasn't it? Is that any better? We're walking back through town. We're going to head back to the Professor and make our way round to La Manga. But I mean, the promenade is lovely, but there's only 3 or 4 little cafe bars. There was some life, not super busy, but I struggle to see how they would cope with the demand in the summer, when obviously it would be busy. A lot of places, building, work, hold on. Yeah, I struggle to see how, let's take those off. Oh, sorry, it's dark, isn't it? I struggle to see how they would cope with the influx of tourists and residents in the summer months. I mean, like I said, I'm walking through town. There's a couple of little bars which we're about to walk past now, which are currently closed, just a couple of streets back from the seafront. Just to spin you around. You can see them behind me, but very quiet. Maybe they'll open this evening. I mean, this one is certainly set up as a restaurant, so later today I'm sure it's big as well. I'm sure it will open. But yeah, it seems a nice little town, village, town, I'm guessing. But say, part of the research is if it's got some life in the winter, it will have life in the summer. We'll go into the centre, which we're coming into now, see if my opinion changes, but there's a lot of stuff, bearing in mind it's basically the middle of the day, middle of the week, well, Tuesday, not middle of the week, quite, but it's not siesta time, and a lot of stuff is closed, which is a shame. But anyway, let's continue our wander back to the Professor. I think just because of the building work, everybody had to raise their voices to be able to be heard in their conversations, and therefore it just seems more lively than it actually is. A lot of stuff is closed, as I said, I can imagine it would have a nice buzz in the summer months without being over touristic or overpopulated, just my impression, but it is still pretty quiet. Okay, so we're back in the van, and you remember I showed you those olives earlier? Well, we've got a nice big bag of those, which I think where we are going to be, they're not for you, Mr. Goa, no. Where we're going to be parked up tonight, hopefully in La Manga if we can get a space. I think the view with a couple of beers across the Mediterranean and some lovely big olives will be spectacular. So let's get over to La Manga, find somewhere to park, and I'll give you my final thoughts on Los Alcazares as well. Yeesh. But let's put these in the fridge. They're for later. High five. Good boy. Good morning. So welcome to La Manga. Obviously we got here yesterday. Fairly good park up, I'll show you that in a mo with some other mohos. But let's finish off Los Alcazares. I mean, it's an okay little village town. The market was fantastic, as I said. It just was a little quiet. As I said, my whole point being with this journey and potentially finding somewhere to live is that it needs to have life in the winter, which means I assume it will have life in the summer. Now, that doesn't mean I want to live in the center of that place that has the life, but I want to be able to access it. You know, my dream would be a little finca or something with a little garden for Koa. Whether that will happen, subject to money and location that we find, but to have access to those facilities. And here's what I thought about. What I'm finding is that probably, like Los Alcazares, yes, it had a supermarket, but it was one that I've never seen before, didn't recognize the name. It's either a one-off, a local, franchise concession. It's not a big national chain in Spain like Mercadona or Eroski. And I think that could be the tipping point. I think if the town or village has one of those big supermarkets, a Lidl, an Aldi, excuse me, then that would probably indicate that it's going to have a little bit more to it. Maybe that's a bit of a naive way to look at it, but that's kind of like a conclusion that I came to whilst I was driving here yesterday. So we're gonna move on to another place that we want to check out, Mojaca, today, and we have some friends who are down in Mojaca, so we're going to go and meet Kevin and Andrea. But anyway, La Manga, let me just spin you around. I mean, firstly, hello, good morning. This is what we're waking up to. And I don't know if it will come out on the camera, and I do apologise if there's a lot of wind noise, but you can see all along the peninsula. We drove all along here yesterday. There's some just there. This is the Mediterranean, by the way, across that way to Morocco, Africa. And if we spin this way, this is the lagoon in the distance, and then the Spanish mainland, if you can see it over there. And then a load more apartment blocks. This is where we are parked up. We're behind the bushes over there. But, excuse the wind noise. I hope this is going to be okay. La Manga. I mean, I don't know exactly how long it is. I mean, I think it's about 20 kilometres, this peninsula that obviously separates the Mediterranean from this lagoon, and then obviously the mainland, although this is obviously part of the mainland, but it's a little peninsula on its own. But boy, is it quiet again. Same process last night, looked on Google Maps. I don't blame Google for this, it's the businesses. Found a bar that said it was open, went for a walk, put a few pennies into the economy, get there, and lo and behold, it's closed because they hadn't updated their opening hours for winter timetable on Google. And that said, I mean, there are thousands upon thousands of these apartment blocks here. And I think every one of them last night, when it was dark, had maybe one or two which had lights on. So therefore, I assume people living in them. The rest of them, nada. Absolutely, all the shutters and blinds are down. And this goes for the whole peninsula. It's just obviously purely a summer destination. I would not want to live here year round. I'm sorry if you do, but I don't really get it. I mean, you are miles, kilometers from anything. Maybe that's what people want, of course, but when I was driving through, yes, I think I said when I was driving through, there was a few bars and restaurants that are open during the day, not a lot. But then there's not a lot of residents here, so that makes sense. But then come the evening, no. I mean, maybe in other parts of the peninsula, I'm right at the tip, there's going to be a couple of bars and restaurants, I'm sure, that are open in the evening, but certainly where I am, right at the far end, I didn't see anything. So, La Manga, an experience, but not for me or Koa, although he did go swimming yesterday. But anyway, we're going to move on to Mojaca. It's a couple of hours drive, not too far. Nothing to do with the van. We've done that all yesterday. I just spin round once more because, can you see over my shoulder? Has that got it? Yes, the sun is coming through the clouds as it rises. So really nice location. Anyway, let's get the doctor, oh my God, the professor, sorry professor, let's get the professor. Yeah, see, we're just such medical professionals that we forget what job we do from time to time. Let's get packed up and head off to Mojaca, so we'll see you there.